August the 12th, another date for your diary, this time the O2 in London. And this is colossal. Anthony Joshua in action again, this time against Dillian Whyte. The great and the good in the world of boxing are with us today. Anthony's promoter, Eddie Hearn, joins us live. Eddie, good afternoon to you. You're only on live because Simon's not in today, aren't you?
You know what? It makes me look like I was ducking him, but I'm looking forward to the next week or so. Looking forward to speaking to your man again.
When's that happening, Eddie? Sometime in August, we believe.
What's that? Me and him?
You and Simon, yeah.
Any problem? No problem at all. We're ready for round 2. We got some beautiful ammunition coming his way.
Brilliant. What sort of workouts you been doing, mate? You've been preparing well?
I'm trying. You know, you've got to do the jaw, really.
Listen,
talking, you know.
I've been looking at those voters on Instagram. You're looking in great shape, mate.
Trying, mate.
Well, you need to come back with something special, Eddie, because he wiped you out first time around. Now then, Eddie, I jest. We're delighted to have you on board this lunchtime. AJ, how is he?
He's fantastic. I mean, you know, I can't believe it's only 2 weeks on Saturday. The fight's come around real quick. Obviously, it was announced 5 weeks out. It's squeaky bum time for everybody, let's be honest. I mean, AJ, Dillian Whyte, you kind of think that their careers are on the line August 12th at the O2. He must win the fight. People talking about the Deontay Wilder fight. People are talking about all these big moments. But all that really matters is Dillian Whyte. He's in great shape. So is Dillian Whyte. They've both got the bit between their teeth. There's rivalry. There's pride. It's North London v South London. I think it's going to be a tremendous fight. They
both recognise it. It could be, you know, really effective on their career as well, Eddie, this fight, isn't it? Going into this one. It's a high-risk fight for Anthony Joshua with what he had out there with Deontay Wilder out in Saudi, etc. He didn't need to take this fight, and we know the history of these two. And if there's anyone that's got a sort of bogeyman, Dillian Whyte is Anthony Joshua. So it's a calculated gamble by Joshua taking this. And, you know, he's out there training with Derek James and, you know, and he's in the gym with Errol Spence, etc., etc. That must be building his confidence. But it is a high-risk fight, and they must feel that, you know, he's added something to his armoury already to take this fight.
Yeah, and I think, look, I have to be honest, like when you've got a Deontay Wilder fight in the wings for a lot of money, do you really want to be in a high-risk fight, especially one where you may fight off emotions because of, you know, the magnitude of the fight and the personal relationship between the two fighters. But I like the fact that he was adamant, Spence, that this was the fight he should take. And I think you know as well, if you're not up for a fight, if you're not up for an opponent, I'm not sure you're going to, you know, I think in the Jermaine Franklin fight, although it was his first fight with Derek James, how up for it was he? You know, you're coming off 2 Usyk fights. You've boxed Klitschko at Wembley. You've boxed Andy Ruiz at Madison Square Garden and in Saudi. All of a sudden, you're fighting Jermaine Franklin. You know, he's about big fights. And I just think he feels like he's going to get the best out of himself against better opposition. So he was pretty adamant that Dillian Whyte was the guy. But of course, you know, not just the career might be on the line, but like the opportunity for that massive fight with Wilder. So it's risky business, but it also shows me the confidence that he's got to go in and take that kind of fight. And I think he feels that the improvements he's made with Derek James will show on August 12th.
You say it's risky business, Eddie, but I mean, Fury made it look easy, didn't he?
Sorry?
Fury made it look easy.
Yeah, but you know, you seem to think that Tyson Fury is God. So obviously he's going to make anything look easy.
But in AJ's defence, actually, like Styles make fights.
I think in my own defence, I don't think Tyson's God.
But let's have it right. Apparently, Anthony Joshua's overrated. He's finished. He's at the end of his career. He should retire. So let's see how he goes. You know, if all of those things are true, he's going to really, really struggle on August 12th, and it might be the end of his career.
Who's saying all of these things, Eddie?
Sorry?
Who's saying all of these things?
Various people. I mean, it's common opinion, you know. It's writers, The Guardian said he should retire from boxing. His heart's not in it anymore. You know, I mean, definitely your show hasn't been the most supportive so far, but we know you like to give your opinion and you're entitled to it. But as all things, you know, whether it's Anthony Joshua putting in a great performance or whether it's Conor Benn being cleared, when those things happen, hopefully we can all have a sensible conversation and take, you know, balanced opinions into the process.
Yeah. Eddie, how do you view Carl Froch's opinion then? He's been on this programme in the last couple of weeks suggesting that maybe Anthony Joshua is going to be more remembered for the fights that he's lost than the ones that he's won.
Yeah, I think Carl says some strange things sometimes. I mean, he's a friend of mine. I think he's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend of the sport. Rob McCracken is one of the greatest trainers of all time. Anthony Joshua's changed the face of British boxing. I think they're all legends. Sometimes things are said out of spite. Sometimes I think things are said it's a bit silly, like, you know, it will be over in the first round against Wilder. I think everybody should support everybody. We all know that British boxing is a better place with the inclusion of Anthony Joshua. So, but Dillian Whyte has it all to play for. And, you know, we're all talking about AJ. We're not talking too much about Dillian Whyte. You know, he may get discredited for the Tyson Fury performance, but I don't think he performed that night. What has he got left? We'll find out on August 12th. But he will raise his game for this fight because it's different.
Well, that's right, Eddie. Listen, styles do make fights, and these two have got history going back to the amateur days. And I think this will bring the best out in Anthony Joshua and is the perfect opponent for him at this stage because of the criticism surrounding him. Because I'm with you, mate, as in, you know, supporting Anthony in what he's achieved in the sport. I think that gets overlooked way too much. And I think that people are too quick to jump on the wagon of, yep, he's finished because he's lost one fight or two fights against one guy who's, you know, the pound for pound number one in the heavyweight out there right now. So, yeah, I think it's a good opponent, but a dangerous one.
You've criticised AJ as well, though.
No, I'm AJ's. I'm the only
leave
supporter.
it out. Jimmy's our last line of defence.
I'm his only supporter, mate. Yeah,
you're his fanboy. Eddie, here's the thing. What's more important for AJ? Win or win with really good performance on the night?
Yeah, I mean, always win. But I think if he can look good, you know, if he wins well and looks sensational and knocks him out, there are going to be people, oh, but it was Dillian Whyte. What did he have left? Look, at the end of the day, let's respect him for at least taking a real challenge with what's ahead. But ultimately as well, we've got a plan. And the plan is Dillian Whyte, the plan is Deontay Wilder, and the plan is Tyson Fury. That's dreamland at the moment because the only thing that matters is August 12th.
Do we get Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder this year if he comes through, Dillian Whyte?
I think you're more likely to see it in January, in all honesty. I mean, you know, I think with the turnaround of the fight, who knows what Wilder's going to do? He's been inactive for a while. I don't think he can find a fight. You know, he talks about the Andy Ruiz fight. I think both of those guys are living in fantasy land with the numbers they want for that fight.
Eddie, I was going to ask you, the fact that Fury's getting in with effectively an MMA fighter, what does that do for boxing?
Look, I get it. Like, you know, at the end of the day, he's making a lot of money to fight a bloke that's never, ever had a professional fight in his life. So, but it's just disappointing because the fight that I want to see and the fight that I think all fight fans want to see, of course, is the undisputed fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. I think it's a tremendous fight. I think Tyson Fury is a tremendous fighter. And I think with Tyson Fury's ability, he has that chance to go down as a modern day great. But to do it, you've got to beat everybody at the top of the division.
Yes.
One is Anthony Joshua, but granted he's lost a couple of times. But the other one certainly is Alexander Usyk. If Fury goes out and beats Usyk, and, you know, maybe fights AJ down and beats AJ, like, he goes down as a generational great. Someone you can talk about, you know, with the great heavyweights of the past, Fraser, Lennox Lewis, these guys. But the reality is he beat Vladimir Klitschko, which was a great win, and he beat Deontay Wilder. Outside of that, he hasn't beat other champions, other what people call top 2, top 3 guys. But victory against Usyk would do that. And I think he's the favourite to win that fight. It's not like the money wasn't there.
If you were Fury's promoter, Eddie, would you have him fighting this MMA fella?
If he didn't really fancy the Usyk fight, yeah, probably. I mean, look, Francis Ngannou came to me. We had a very nice meeting. He's a tremendous character, great story. And he came to me because he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. And I went straight to AJ and I went, look, it's a bit of a left field one. Don't forget, Anthony Joshua is not a world champion. He didn't have a shot at the world championship. So I said, what do you think? And he went, absolutely no interest at all. I want to try and become world heavyweight champion again. I've got no interest in fighting Francis Ngannou. So I went back to him and gave him the news. But I get it, Jim. It's not like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's a disgrace. They're taking the money, right? We all love a pound note, but let's not dress it up with, I'm not about the money. I don't care. I'm not about the flash cars. I'm not about this. I'm not about that. Of course you are. And let's just say it for what it is. I couldn't make one of those fights. Didn't quite fancy Alexander Usyk. So I'm going to make 30 mil to fight a bloke that's never had a fight before. Thank you very much. I'll take the money and we'll chat later.
Eddie, as always, top stuff, mate. Thank you so much. When are you joining us then? You're coming in to see the man Jordan soon.
Listen, next week they're flogging me out or the week after for the AJ fight. They're flogging me out everywhere. You're more entitled to your time and a piece of meat.
Eddie Hearn, thank you so much. Eddie with us this lunchtime, looking ahead to the big one on August the 12th, AJ against Dillian Whyte. As you rightly said, Spencer, when you came in the studio, the big one, they're all big ones.
They are.
Massive number of huge fights coming up.
There's so many fights coming up now, from now till Christmas. I think we're finally getting the fights that we wanted to see. Yeah, we're not getting the Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. We're not getting AJ versus Wilder. But going down the list, though, we've got some great fights. And let's not forget Joe Joyce on the 23rd of September against Zilly Zhang, which is a great respect to Joe Joyce for taking that fight as well, by the way.
How is Zilly?
Yeah, Zilly Zhang is good.
He is good.
He is good,
yeah.
man.
I'd love to see him come in this studio. Need
I
to
don't
duck
think
his
he'd
nut
fit in.
coming in there.
Yeah.